All right, before you start yelling at me, I get it, right? The Bengals are a team that are probably going to turn it around. They're probably going to look pretty decent by the end of the year. But we do every single team, every single Madden. This is the best time to catch the Cincinnati Bengals. And I actually have to start, force winning / losing games now. And, before it was like, just, do the rebuild, whatever, week 1, week 2. But now it's like, okay, well, we're rebuilding teams and we're basing it off of how well they're playing at the current moment, right? Of course, speaking of current moment, things haven't gone their way, obviously. They have yet to find a tight end. I don't know if they're ever going to find another tight end. They just remind me of the Packers. They seem to have decent receivers a lot of the time, but they don't really have a tight end. They had a once upon a time, good tight end in Tyler Eifert, but, that really didn't last too long, to be honest, especially health-wise. This was supposed to be a vastly improved offensive line, and we have obviously not seen that, at all. Joe Burrow, partly as a result, has been not so great. Of course, the receiving unit is one of the best in the league still, obviously. Joe Mixon has been off to a pretty bad start, too. It's an offense that is supposed to do crazy numbers, and it just hasn't. Of course, Trey Hendrickson is still easily the most underrated player in the entire game. You could easily make him a superstar at this point. I always like to at least force him to star. No one can really cry about him being a star. He should at least be at the very, utterly most lowest star dev, especially when you have Sam Hubbard at star. Of course, another very underrated player is Awuzie, who has been a savior of this team, to be honest, when it comes to the cornerback position. He has been really, really good for them ever since joining. Logan Wilson's pretty solid. Linebackers, looking at this team, what we have to replace: left end, more than likely. DT number 2 for sure. Cornerback, soon enough. Mike Hilton's also a pretty solid corner, but he's getting up there in age. He's 28. That doesn't really last too long in Madden. Jesse Bates is probably going to be let go as well. There's kind of a reason why they went with Daxton Hill, and you look at their salary cap situation right now, I just don't see them affording a 16-plus mil per year safety when Joe Burrow's contract is on the horizon, and assuming he gets back to his normal self, he's at minimum a $40 million per year type of guy. So don't think he can really afford that when we're strapped for cash already, and that's before contracts for Bates and Burrow. Daxton Hill, like I said, is probably going to be the future starter here. And then Von Bell is an interesting name because he's a decent player, but 27, that ceiling isn't super great. Contractually, I don't actually know, but based on that release, it kind of seems like he's nearing the end. And of course, Evan McPherson is just insane. Once again, the best punter in the game when you're talking long-term because of his age and dev. Plus, kick power is pretty solid. Yeah, I'm trying to think back, how many times have we seen the Bengals actually... Oh, I should force these games, actually win the Super Bowl. We've done a decent bit of rebuild so far, yet I don't remember seeing any. I don't remember seeing any, or maybe there has been maybe a few. I don't know, but of course, we'll see what happens here. It could be a complete failure, even though it's supposed to be a walk in the park, so we'll see how, viable this is, how realistic this should be for us to win early on. I also don't really remember looking at this scheme too much, what the numbers usually look like for the Bengals, so could be a scheme issue down the line as well. Ooh, I like that. But yeah, a lot of tough opponents here as you just lost to the Ravens, beat the Saints. Saints are actually really in a spot right now. They're really trying to figure things out themselves. I did a speed rebuild thinking they were going to be really good, but they might need a legitimate rebuild soon. Breakout quarterback, I guess. I'll take the XP, but you can't really go up in dev. I don't know if you actually need to win for the X Factor one. You probably should have to, right? But I don't know if you do, so I'm going to click it. Okay, I would assume if you lose, it's automatic, right? They should have breakouts where you could risk it all. If they're a star dev player, you can go I think they're going to go ham mode straight to X Factor. But if you lose it, you go down to normal. That would be brutal, but it'd be kind of cool too. Yeah, glad to see that we are 3-6. Looks like we're going to be in the run for one of those top 3 quarterbacks, apparently. God damn, dude. But if we can get to pick 4, we might be able to get Will Anderson. The top 3 picks, because of position value, could very well be quarterback. So if we're number 4, we might be able to get Will Anderson, which would be insane. Not saying that this team should tank, but at this point they should at 3-7. Well, hopefully 3-7. Nope. Make the playoffs or miss badly. One of the two. That's the only two options here. Currently sitting at 5-7. Also currently sitting with a lot more money than I would have expected. Is this really what the team's salary cap looks like? Because I don't see why they wouldn't re-sign Jesse Bates then. Are there a lot of future contracts where the team goes down in money? Like, I know if you look at a team like the Vikings, they have a lot of contracts that are going way up in value next season, which could, maybe, I wouldn't say cost them Justin Jefferson, but as far as long-term wise, could be some issues there. If he holds out because they have to place the tag, I mean, there could be issues there, but what is this value? I know for a fact he wants at least 16, right? This is 17, so I'm going to allow this. Plus, it's literally what he asked for. I don't want to lose Von Bell, but we obviously have Dax and Hill waiting, so one of them is going to play strong safety, I suppose. Yeah, we're not in the playoffs, and we do lose that game, which is nice. We're not going to be one of those picks that we're hoping to have, but hey, it's still not a bad draft pick season. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Wow, that's depressing. 12th worst pick, despite the fact that we missed the playoffs. 7 and 10 is 12. That's sounds like I was doing math there. It's like, no, that's not what I meant. But yeah, apparently they don't turn it around. Too many tough games on the list, apparently. Losing to the Ravens makes sense. Bills makes sense. Buccaneers makes sense. Chiefs, fair enough. Panthers, probably not, but I mean, all losable games. Literally every single one of them. But also all winnable games, so who actually knows? But in this universe, we know, because we did not make the playoffs. Joe Burrow, 32 touchdowns, 18 interceptions, 5,100 yards. That would actually be a pretty decent turnaround considering where the starting point is here. Joe Mixon as well. Very nice turning point. T. Higgins. Holy superstar Dev. Jamar Chase had another pretty good year. Touchdowns are a little low, but Tyler Boyd's still solid. Hurst, meh. Looking at the blocking, I mean, kind of on par. Hendrickson, who is obviously on par for better than that in real life, 10. That's all right. Rest of the line, though, not super great. I know some of those guys aren't really like the best of pass rushers on the interior, but still would like to see something. Of course, the MVP of the league goes to Mr. Brady. Any award wins? Bourne. Like, Kendrick Bourne. Of all players to win awards, he's winning awards. How? Just like, how have you not left a like and subscribed? And if you've done those things, or you're already subscribed, thanks, man. Or female, but like, I mean, like, how many of you are there? Like, really? Patriots versus Commanders. That is an interesting Super Bowl. You gotta, yeah, I mean, you'd have to root for the Commanders, and it doesn't matter who you're rooting for because the Commanders lose. Dev ups. Could see a dev down from Burrow. Doubt it, but you never know. And T. Higgins goes up in dev. Thought maybe Mixon would have went up in dev because of the touchdowns, but I guess not. Defensively, any numbers? Hendrickson star still. Davis Gaither went up in dev. We gave Pratt a 2-year 7. Not that I see him as our super long-term option, but I also don't want to replace like every position possible. Oh yeah, BJ Hill went up in dev as well. Although I think we're letting him go to free agency, aren't we? How good is he? He's an okay block shedder, but 77 power move, 79 block shed. You can almost get that as a rookie in the draft. So tight end could be, not that this team necessarily needs one, the number one need. So if there's someone good in free agency, maybe we spend the money to guarantee them. But I think there are some really athletic tight ends in this class as well, as we are using a real class in this one. Normally I don't like to do it if a team has a quarterback, but I just decided to do one because I haven't, used one in so long, and it's nice to see that we actually have a decent pick for it as well. But D-line is not out of the question, especially left end. As Sam Hubbard, I just don't think he has the potential. Like, what is he? 28! I was under the impression that he was going to be like 26, maybe 27, but oh, he is older than I thought. He is more useless in-game than I thought as well. Yeah, I mean, biggest need, left end, linebacker wouldn't hurt, future corner wouldn't hurt. But O-line tight end, that's like number one, which I suppose is number 1, 2, and 3. But let's see if there's anyone here that is of value. Gesicki's kind of looking more on the side of him being re-signed. Hargrave would be a really nice contract. He's only asking for a 1 year. Even though we did just miss the playoffs, this still is one of those teams that looks like, they're very, very close. Obviously, that's kind of why we were kind of joking about, do they really need a rebuild? But Javon Hargrave could be a really nice little addition, as he's obviously a very good pass rusher still. And that's kind of what we're lacking the most, specifically from the interior. We are leading the value there, the charge, so going to keep that on there, and I suppose that might be it, because we do need to save some money. Like I said, Joe Burrow's contract's coming up here, and I do not want to be too broke to re-sign him. That would be an L. Greedy Williams at a superstar dev is super tough to pass on, though. Superstar dev. Mike Hilton can move back to the slot because he's on the smaller side. Cam Taylor-Britt would potentially be being wasted, though. But it's not my draft pick. I didn't decide to draft him, A 4-year 30, if he wants to join us, I think is worth it for a 25-year-old superstar. Nobody even wants him even close to as much as us. And we'll still have 40 mil left over. I'm cool with that. All right, let's see what we get. No to Greedy. Sounds like someone is being greedy. And he still takes it without us increasing the offer. 4-year 30 is perfectly fine. 1-year 12, glad Hargrave joined. So we added 2 new superstars to the team. And, they add immediate value, specifically Hargrave. So, once again, tight end, O-line is pretty much the top needs. And I don't know why I'm looking at this. We're going to add so many more players. I am not going to change the roster like 45 times. We're going to be taking Joe Burrow's 5th-year option as... Actually, I don't even know how much that's going to be, but I imagine that's the cheapest option and obviously the most realistic option. So whatever that is, well, it's what we have to deal with now. 22.8, that's it. Oh, my Lord, that's the right call. All right, so the Seahawks at pick 1, likely to take a quarterback. They do not, of course. The Giants, likely to take a quarterback. They do. Titans, likely to take a quarterback. They don't. This is tough because Will Anderson looks like the clear-cut highest player that isn't a quarterback, right? Yet it's not even close to being him the next guy. Yep, that's words. The Jets, though, they have their edge set, and they know how valuable this pick is. Unless they're going to go QB, they could be a team that would be looking to trade down, right? They have John Franklin Myers and Carl Lawson on their edge. They really don't need Will Anderson, even though he's really, really talented. So if we were to make a very, very good trade offer, I'm just saying. And we need a pass rusher. Do we need one as good as him, though? I don't know. But we're going to find out if this trade is doable. So the game's value for this would be pick 12, a first next year, and a third this year, or Jesse Bates, which obviously we just paid Jesse Bates, so there's no way in hell I'm doing that. But I actually wonder if we could do this instead. I don't think that... Okay, what? It does actually say on the trade calculator that this is like 20 value in our favor, which I would say is probably a little bit of an L for them, but I think I'm willing to allow it, really, to be honest. I mean, it's a very good player, wherever the hell he actually is. Was he actually still available? Wait, did he go already? Wait, hello? Don't tell me I just sold. I just traded for a player that's not even there anymore. Okay, he is there still. Will Anderson. Why is he projected not to go super high? I don't follow the professional world that much, or the college world, if you will, that much, for real life. But he still looks like a god to me, and I thought he was the best pass rusher by a mile. And I'm just gonna take him. Will Anderson, welcome to the team. Hidden development trade, 88 speed, 90 excel. Worth the trade up from 12. I mean, it didn't cost us that much. I mean, it kind of cost us a lot for this year, but not next year. So the fact that we kind of sold is going to land us a pretty decent pass rusher, believe it or not. So, I mean, take it how you will. It works out in our favor. All we really need now is a lineman or two. And, I mean, we pretty much had the draft we needed. Problem is, though, there's a lot of good pass rushers in this draft, so maybe we could have just waited. But, whatever. We're past those days already. We trade 76 for 105 and 107 this year because we needed to add some depth into this draft. Might be able to land 2 linemen and a tight end with those picks. But I'm a little worried because all of our guys are day 3, so they could literally be all gone already or going very soon. Oh, wow, we have to trade up. Daniels is the last lineman left. I thought Torrance would have been there still. He is not, so we're going to have to trade up to 1, which, I mean, either way, it's still not a bad choice. All right, Daniels might be our new center, actually, but we'll see exactly what his strong suits are. So Braden Daniels, normal development trait, but should be okay enough to start somewhere on this line, especially since we lost Sharpening, whatever the hell. I don't even know what he's up to. We're actually going to take a running back here as we need a backup, and this guy is very, very, very fast. So Muhammad Ibrahim is going to be our guy at the backup spot. Super speedily. Welcome to the team, number 2 running back. And then I do not know who the better tight end is, so I'm going to take a look at both of them and choose the best one. 20 years old, looking great already. Gilbert, 5'4", 4.54 anyways. What about Billingsley? He's going to be super fast too. 6'4", 2 years older. Yeah, I mean, I think that's already been decided for me just based on the age. So Eric Gilbert, welcome to the squad, 20 years old, starting tight end, 87 speed, 85 excel, 85 jumping. We need some speed, so Tyler Harrell, the 4.24 40 guy, is our wide receiver, 97 speed, 95 excel. Of course, this is Bengals' most recent draft class, so definitely check it out if you want to use this exact class and see what you can do in the draft. But round 6 coming up, we need a punter. Oh, God, we don't have a round 6 pick. Round 7, never mind. We need a punter. Hopefully the punter's still there. And is he actually not? He is. Okay, it's a little worrisome. A.J. Anderson, A accuracy, 91 kick power. Welcome to the team as the starting punter, as Huber is gone. But yeah, we don't have a 3rd round next year, but what we do have is an absolute god in Will Anderson, the 82 overall starting left end for this team. I mean, look at how good he is, dude. He's actually insane. And to guarantee he's a god, we're going to put him at 52 in the pro for his pro number. X Factor, which is a bit busted. Of course, some of these overalls are actually really good. They're all in the 70s, which is awesome. We did only land 1 hidden, though, but obviously that hidden is an X Factor. But, okay, I mean, we'll have to change positions based on what we need. But that's an okay draft, especially considering pass rush, one of the tougher positions to draft for and one of the most important positions in the league. With, the running back, is he going to be hidden? Tell me. He's going to be a star dev already, please? Okay, oh yeah, I forgot the game glitches out and we're going to be in the main menu. But yeah, with Hendrickson and Will Anderson, this has become one of the best duos in the league. And he is. He's going to be star development trait. Thank you, Joe Mixon. Nice jersey you got there. All right, year 2, we obviously didn't solve every single issue we had, but we have ourselves an extremely young tight end. We have a really young left guard. We need to replace the center. Kappa might be on his way soon to be replaced as well. We have ourselves a really fast number 2 running back, which hopefully helps out the balance of the ground attack. And then on defense, we obviously added an insanely talented left end. We added a very talented DT2. However, I worry about his long term here. Might be his only year here. Greedy Williams, obviously. Hopefully he progresses. He's obviously insanely talented because he's superstar. He's tall. He's fast. All that. Linebacker might be needing to be replaced, but we're weak in the spots you're kind of allowed to be weak, and then we're really strong in the spots that you want to be strong in. We're having a much better season this year so far. T. Higgins. How much money do we actually have? Yeah, this is, it's becoming a bit of a problem. A 4-year 80. Excited to say. I mean, that is a lot of money, but he has been worth it. DJ Reader, 2-year 25. He's an absolute god when it comes to just mowing down the run game, but as far as actual pass rush goes, which is kind of what gets you the most upgrades, definitely not super great there. We'll have to debate on that one because, once again, we have to save money somewhere, and I feel like I can draft a DT a bit easier than I can draft, let's say, a cornerback, and I would say like a linebacker, but honestly, Logan Wilson's just gone, dude. Like, we have to pay, like, we have another 20 mil accounting for next year, and we still have, like, all of these names. So let's go in order of importance. So Awuzie, I think, is the most important of the list I've seen. However, the money he wants could be too much. Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to do more than, like, 15. And then, honestly, if we were going to go for any DT of the 2 that need a contract, it probably would be Hargrave, because I need a little bit more of a pass rusher in that accord. Although he's playing really, 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 really bad for us right now. And then for Tyler Boyd, we just can't afford him. Jonah Williams, I suppose, will pay. Yeah, I mean, we're pretty broke, to be honest. Like, Joe Burrow's contract's going to account for what? Another, like, 20-some million added on to what he's already being paid. So that's like 10 mil cap room as it stands. And that's losing Boyd. That's losing Hargrave. That's losing Davis Gaither. That's losing, Logan Wilson. That's losing DJ Reader. So, yeah, we're going to need this next upcoming draft to be really good for us. And we don't have our own third-round pick, so that's sweet. I might regret it, but we gave Akeem Davis Gaither a 4-year 33. He is 25 years old, and he has star development trade now. He's 77 overall, so still going to get Woozier. Offered him a 1-year 16. He won't take it, so we might have to replace even more than we thought. I've changed nothing, yet the team... Oh, of course, they lose that game, which could have cost us our freaking bye week, perhaps. Might have. Oh, it definitely did. Good job, boys. Changed nothing. The playbooks, all that, schemes, all that is the exact same. I was like, you know what? It might have just been a fluke year. We added a really nice pass rusher that could change things, and I mean, it kind of seems like it has. Obviously, the team is going to get a little bit worse after this year because obviously we are losing some pretty talented players. The interior of the D-line is looking to be pretty bad, but doesn't mean we can't still try and get Hargrave. There could be some contracts that we can maybe get rid of perhaps, but as of right now, you can see a lot of our guys were on the top 3 lists on that right side. This is a way better season. I mean, Joe Burrow is potentially the MVP of the league. If not, maybe Joe Mixon is. I mean, this is by far the best offense in the league and is easily the best offensive season I've seen in Madden 23. This is a really good year. Looking at defense, Trey Hendrickson with 12, Will Anderson with 10.5. Love to see that. Hargrave with 5. Picks are a little low, but that's fine. 2 missed kicks out of 15, which is way better than last year. A.J. Anderson, the rookie, not great, under 50 yards per punt, but overall, a pretty damn good year, especially, like we said, on offense, which is just insane. Did not win MVP, was behind Stroud and Josh Allen, which is a little surprising, actually. Offensive Player of the Year on the AFC side, though, was mixing with Chase right behind. And any other awards, nothing so far. Who did Will Anderson, actually, I forgot. Best quarterback at 2, best running back at 1, best wide receiver at 2, best O-line not on the list, D-line at 6, and that's it, apparently. Linebacker not on the list, right? Yeah, no linebackers on the list. DB number 7, and then kicker at number 5. But yeah, I completely forgot we're also losing Logan Wilson, so yeah, we might have to do a bunch of trading down and just hoping to find some gems. But our first playoff game going against the Ravens. We're in 88 overall. They're in 85. We've had the greatest offensive performance of all time. I have no idea how they have had, of course. They're doing a lot better than we are in this game as it's 28-10. We've lost the game. 35-10, we've lost the game. That's all I can tell you. This is easily the best team we're going to have in this rebuild. And we lost 48-20 to the Ravens. Yup. That's what I would expect to happen too. Yep, 100%. Sure, dude. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah. Wow, Sim is son of a bitch, isn't it? Of course, looking at the sack totals, I mean, they're apparently just a way better team than us when they have maybe like 3 positions better than us as a whole, if that. Like, who do they actually have pass rushing that's like even remotely good? Ajabo and Away were their 2 pass rushers, and apparently they were better than our 2 pass rushers. Like, this is the team that beat us. Like, how are they in any way better than us than than a few positions? They have a better safety, 1 better corner, a better tight end, and a better left tackle, and that is literally it. We have them beat in every other category, and a lot of them, we have them beat by a lot. But hey, good to see us lose that game, and Ravens aren't going to be in the Super Bowl. They never win in Sim. It's never going to happen. It's just never going to happen. Bills versus the Cowboys. Winner of that is the Cowboys. Okay, I mean, this is going to be sucky. We're going to lose some names. This is not going to be fun. Joe Burrow, of course. Mixon, X Factor. Chase, X Factor. Gilbert not going a star is a mad L, I will admit. Defense, we did pay him, and he went to superstar, which is sick. Of course, going to be losing Pratt, going to be losing Wilson. Well, actually, I don't know if we're going to be losing Pratt, but we should be losing Pratt because we need someone better. The DTs, we could actually stick around with, perhaps one or two of them, or one or both of them anyways. We'll see what kind of money we have. As you can see, we have 72 mil, and I want to see if there's any other contracts. Maybe like Sam Hubbard's making a crazy amount of money. I don't know, because we didn't let him go. So 72 mil, we need to save at least like 20-ish. So, I mean, we might be fine. We might be okay. 73 mil, of course, Awuzie has decided he didn't want to return, so we're going to let him hit free agency. Might be able to do better, to be honest. Reader, maybe, I don't know. I'd rather have Hargrave, but honestly, at this point, both DTs were pretty bad. I actually didn't look at their tackles for a loss, though, in fairness. Pretty bad tackles for loss. Sack totals are pretty iffy. Let's take a look at Reader. If he at least had good tackles for loss, I might try to keep him around for one more year. And, I mean, that's pretty basic numbers. I'm going to let them both go. Don't want to spend any crazy money here in free agency. So if we see, like, a decently young DT, maybe we take a shot, but I'm not going to be putting, like, 20 mil into any one player. It sucks that all the DTs are, like, paid so much here because, like, I don't want to pay, like, someone like Ed Oliver every single time, but at the same time, the prices make it where it's, like, why wouldn't I, Like, I'm paying the same money pretty much for him as these older guys, but at least Ed Oliver will be here for some time. Nobody wants Logan Wilson because he's way too expensive. And for corners, Jalen Johnson's not a terrible name, but Awuzie is literally a better, faster version of him. I know he's older, but I don't know if I really want to be locked in long-term with Jalen Johnson anyway, so I'm going to pass on him. And I think we're going to just keep the rest of the money we have. All right, so Awuzie, Logan Wilson, and Ed Oliver are our contract offers. Do we get any of them? We do not, surprisingly. The Ravens are offering, and that's a direct competitor to us, so I really don't want to offer too much more for Ed, but 15 mil per year. Oof. Damn, dude. Really? They're gonna actually cuck us here. We need DT bad, and I would imagine they're all gone now. It's just down to probably Ed Oliver here, who's trying to just suck all the money dry. Well, they can have them, I guess. And surprisingly enough, we didn't get the other two guys we offered on Awuzie. They're trying to steal Awuzie too? Jesus Christ, these losers, dude. Whatever. Can we get a DT? Because I don't want to... I mean, we do have BJ Hill, and we have to keep him for another year, so it is what it is in that sense. Fletcher Cox, he's actually pretty decent still too, I'd imagine. 83 overall, what's he like? I mean, that's okay, but do you really want to pay money for a guy he's okay, but he's not that great? Onyemata is actually probably even better, to be honest. I'd give him a 1-year 8. I'm going to give him a 1-year 8 just so we have options, and then, if we draft someone decent, we can maybe start him perhaps. But let's go back to the targeted list, see if we get any of the guys we have on our list, and no! Really? Last evaluate offers, we at least got Awuzie, which was probably our biggest need, and I don't know what's happening with these guys, like if they're just going to not sign with anyone. Jamar Chase, 5th-year contract, boom, bow. Welcome to the worst year of your life, kind of. We trade 24, a 5th next, and a 7th next for 19 from the Niners, and with that pick, we are going to be kind of... looking at the future because there's a really solid-looking corner. Marquise Griffith, A-catching B-man, C-zone, C-press, which isn't great, but he's 6'2", 4'2", Could be normal development trait, but I'd imagine insanely fast. Bring it on. And hidden development trait, a little bit slower than I would have thought, considering his excel and agility sucks. But speed, change of direction, and jumping is all elite, especially when you consider the fact that he's 6'2". So we can afford to get rid of Awuzie, probably, and Mike Hilton next season, and rock him and Greedy Williams the following year. So, I mean, it's a good draft pick. We're now late in the 2nd round, and we need a lot of different linemen. Roy Spencer looks pretty decent, although he kind of seems to be like just a center. I'm going to go for him, and I'm hoping we finally get a hidden lineman. We do. It seems like the ones we really, really need a hidden is the ones we can't get one. And then all the other ones, it's like, oh, well, we've got like 4-star development trait backup linemen that we can't use. We trade 120 and 152 for 97, and I might have to do another trade up as that other lineman does look pretty good too. But this pick absolutely is the linebacker because he looks like a really solid player. A-zone coverage, a little weak in some of the other ratings, but super fast and potentially a starter out the gate. Ooh, hidden. He is a starter out the gate for sure. Somewhere, I'd imagine, especially if we didn't get Logan Wilson. I don't even remember if we did or not. Actually, I don't know if I even looked. We trade a 6th round this year, a 5th round next year, and center Trey Hill, the 24-year-old, for 98, and Tim Boyle. Tim Boyle was just because they couldn't afford Trey Young. Let's call him Trey Lance. And with that pick, we're going to be taking Cam Smith, the right guard, 6'3", 305, 21 years old. A little weak in the bench press, but about as good as we could get at this point in the draft. Gonna grab him. And another hidden development trait lineman. Of course, 21 years old is really nice. 2 hiddens last year, didn't get a single one. Finished the draft class off with a fullback who was a 73 overall and 75 overall for the cornerback. That will be a future starter for this team. Yeah, agility sucks, but everything else is really good, obviously. Let's take a look at what that dev looks like. Number 47 is a very interesting number, to say the least. 27, 24 is pretty cool, actually. Star dev seems a little low. I thought he was going to be better than that, but that's okay. It's still a good player. Roy Spencer. We need a center and a guard, more than likely. I really don't care who's what dev at this point. And then the middle linebacker, who is a 71 overall, is pretty bad in block shedding, but pretty good in pretty much everything else, actually. Might be even the starter. I'm trying to think if, once again, if we did get Logan Wilson. He's probably better than Pratt already, though. And he definitely is with a superstar dev. Number 34 is a little bit of an iffy number. Was there somebody that I was going to grab and I didn't grab? I can't remember. I think there was a DT named Poindexter. I want to see exactly how good he was. Here he is, 21 years old. Wow. Oh, wait. There's just a bunch of boosted overalls. He looks old as hell, though. He's super strong and decent, but normal dev, so meh. Season 3 team, we were able to get back, some of the guys that we were looking or expected to lose. As far as the hidden development trait linemen we got, they are a little bit on the lower overall side, so probably just going to let them sit for at least a season, and then if we have to replace Kappa and Karras, there you go. You know, you have those replacements ready to go. Definitely want to get Eric Gilbert some dev if we can, but there's not really much I can do other than like change the scheme, which, you know, maybe if we struggle this year, we do that, but last year we had a pretty good year. We just didn't do well in the playoffs. Receivers are still good, even though we lost Boyd. Defensively, superstar middle linebacker, superstar left outside linebacker, and Logan Wilson's on a 2-year 27, so that's nice to see. Awuzie will need to be replaced, but Griffith might be that guy. Obviously, Greedy would be the number 1 with Griffith at 2. Mike Hilton might be gone, but Cam Taylor-Britt will take his place. So we have a lot in place for the future. It's really just, you know, developing who we have and probably upgrading that DT position, to be fair, because these guys are not super great, and they're definitely on the older side. 125 mil. Okay, so who is it? Joe Burrow, obviously. Joe Mixon. Okay, fair enough. Awuzie can't really afford him. And McPherson we can pay. Trey Hendrickson we'll debate on because star dev is rough. Lael Collins I think we'll let go. And everyone else, I mean, we got plenty of money. We could easily pull this off. So this is like 46 mil per year, which is kind of a lot when you consider the fact that it is a 7-year deal. So we'll do it, but man, that's a little bit of an L. 34 years old he'll be when he needs another contract, which isn't crazy. Joe Mixon, what was his interest? Oh, it showed on the bottom screen, actually. Yeah, I mean, he looks like he's interested, and that's decent money for how good he is, so glad to get him back. 67 mil. Obviously, we're going to go for the kicker as well. We'll pay him like a 4-year 20. Nice. 5 mil per year is not bad for literally the best kicker in the game, pretty much, with his age and dev. Looking at Trey Hendrickson, having a little bit worse of a season this year, but his track record shows me that he's at least putting up double digits pretty much every season. Maybe this is the first one he doesn't, but he's pretty close, so of course, it's going to be the one guy that's kind of iffy to re-sign. That's going to be the hardest to do so. A 3-year 65. Come on, dude. Why is everything got to be so freaking god dang tough? I mean, might let him go. Of course, La'el Collins is the guy that I was going to let go, but if he wants to stay on and we're not keeping Trey Hendrickson, I mean, I kind of want to pay, somebody here, as everyone else is pretty much going to be on the way out. We'll see, La'el's decent, but at the same time, we've been over this for how many Maddens now? I don't know if there's even a way to technically test it, but does it matter what the overall is for the tackle? Because I can tell you what, it doesn't matter statistically, but does it matter for the team? I've said it a billion times before, but having a 99 overall right tackle, even if he gives up a bunch of sacks, does that give you a better chance to win in sim? Because the game's like, let's simulate who's better. Oh, they have a 99 tackle. Sure, he may give up a couple of sacks, but we're considering this for the win, Because if not, then there's really no point in paying, any lineman in the game, especially tackles, because they all suck. Playoffs, 12-5. We kind of, wouldn't say choked on the season, but we definitely could have done a little bit better. We lost some games near the end, when it mattered most. As you can see, we lost one, won one, lost one, won two, which is nice, and then lost one again. Definitely had another chance at a bye week and just sold. Didn't have the bye week either time. But Joe Burrow, making that contract look pretty nice. Another really good season. Still rocking the same playbooks that the Bengals start with. 4 1,000-yard receivers. Gilbert, if you're not a star dev, I will punch you in the nose. Right in the nose. Oh my god, they're twins. Of course, let's take a look at the blocking. Like I said, with the block, it's just what's even the point? Will Anderson with 18.5. Trey Hendrickson got back to 11. I offered him a 3-year 70. He said, I can get a better deal in free agency. And honestly, probably could. But free agency is a little different, right? It's like you have to join a new team. You have the new coaches, new playbook, new teammates in general who are not as good as Will Anderson. And obviously, that's the open market. So it's like, do you want to be loyal or do you want a sliver, a little bit more money? And I guess he's chosen. Josh Allen steals the MVP slightly over Burrow, which, like I said, I was about to say anyways, kind of sucks because he's in the AFC, so he pretty much steals every award by an inch. Will Anderson at least got an award win. The Patriots, 89 overall over them, and they're 86 overall. Let's see what we can do if we can actually win a playoff game. All right, going to the end of the game. Left to right is them as they get a nice touchdown drive out the gates. We are struggling here, 14-0. Really? Back-to-back years where we're going to get smoked in the playoffs. Come on, guys. We got to do better than this. This is ridiculous, dude. EA has to do better than this, to be honest. 31-17, we get destroyed again. Another playoff game where we're just smoked by a team that's worse than us. Yeah, they've got Kareem Hunt and Bijan Robinson, but, they have nothing better than us, man. How are we losing to teams that literally have 0 players? Who is good on this team? They have nobody. Our front page, we have 99, 99, 99, 98, 97, 96, 90, 90. Our lowest overall is a 90 on the first page without scrolling. Their lowest is at 87. Their highest overall is a 90. And we lost by multiple touchdowns. Super Bowl between the Broncos and the Vikings. Of course, the Patriots, with the massive upset, end up beating us for nothing. Oh, we have 92 mil. That's nice. Broncos win a Super Bowl. Is that another Super Bowl, by the way? I can't remember. Let's take a look at DevUps. I'm trying to think. Tight end, please, Gilbert. Bro, 1,000 yards isn't enough to get to star. How the hell do you dev up in this game? Harrell, not enough to get to star either. Oh my, that's brutal. Looking at defense, Davis Gaither has been worth every penny. You can't even lie. Awuzie might actually get a contract now. The fact that he just became a superstar. Bates also an X factor, pretty nice. Davis Gaither's really not going up in overall though. Our sliders on are about 150. He's an X factor. He went from normal to X Factor in 2 to 3 years, and yet he's still not even great. Obviously, the contract's still worth it because he's playing really well, but geez, man, I thought he would have been at least an 84, 85. Is that too much to ask? But yeah, we have 90-some mil. Let's see who we should/can re-sign. Is Awuzie at least still pretty fast? Didn't lose any speed. He's a really good zone corner still. I don't see why we shouldn't at least attempt to bring him back. His interest level is pretty decent. A 1-year 15. Nice. Awuzie's been here on a 1-year deal multiple times now. Hendrickson, I do like, but meh. I'm going to let all those guys go, even Mike Hilton. We have a lot of money to add some real elite talent here. Once again, we do have to be careful because Jamar Chase needs a contract, and his money could be literally like $32 mil a year. Yeah, Jamar Chase is going to be doubled, but that's still like, we already count for $15 mil. Woozier might need to be replaced. Logan Wilson. So we have a lot of money here, technically, because we got a lot of guys coming off of contracts that we don't even want anymore. Like Hubbard, see you later. We just saved a bunch of money with that one. This upcoming season, if we can go for it, I don't know who's going to be in free agency. We absolutely need to go all out here. I think we absolutely need to. This is the window. These next 2 seasons are the window. Kappa's not bad, and his contract's not crazy, so I'm actually going to keep him. Believe it or not. It's actually kind of surprising. What about the center, Karras? Unless we just needed to sign him and we let him. Yeah, we just let him go. So we already have linemen, that are able to replace him, so I'm not worried, but this is the year we need to go crazy in free agency if we can. Hopefully there's some god-tier DTs. Patrick Surtain, of course, not a realistic guy to be in free agency here. Buckner is mine. We have to pay him, even if it's $30 mil per year. We have no one at the position. He is by far the best, and he could add some real pass rush talent there. We still don't have the number 1, and we're going against the Steelers here, so we should really do what we can to get him, even if, like I said, it takes 30 mil. 27, is that a little bit better? We're still not. Okay, I'll go to 30. I'll go to 30. I'm about it. Barely about it, but I'm about it. We're still below them. Maybe I'm not about it. It's a lot of money, dude. We literally were higher, offering less guarantee. Man, this game is, the greatest game of all time, obviously. Hey, we offered him a 2-year 52, was it, I believe? And he accepted. It's an expensive contract, but he's insanely talented, and he'll easily last those 2 years. 47 mil left. We lost 2 DTs and a lineman. There were linemen, but I'm just not paying 15 plus per year for a lineman. Even Darisaw is a little too much. I'd rather just rock with a rookie or slap one of the guys that we drafted last year at guard at the position, or move somebody there. It's just not paying the amount of money that these guys are wanting here. We actually also got Darisaw. I forgot about Hunter, actually. No wonder. I was wondering, I was paying Buckner and I kept putting the money up. I was like, how are we going from 87 million to 30 million? I'm like, what is going on here? And I forgot we had Hunter, and then Darisaw was a 1-year 17, which is honestly shocking. I don't know if he's just really into trying to get a ring this early in his career, but it kind of seems like he is. And I got to be honest, he's kind of trash. But, of course, just wanted a decent overall at the position, even just for a 1-year situation, and that's what we got. So as far as what we need to draft, maybe lineman for the future, tight end. I don't know if I'm feeling Gilbert, but he is obviously young. I think even now he's only 22. And he is only 22. Maybe if we find someone that looks like a can't miss, perhaps. Defensively, DT is the number 1 need. And it, like I said, wouldn't hurt to be looking at, pass rush for the future, coverage linebacker for the future, cornerback for the future. Griffith is the new number 3, but like I said, he'll probably be moved up to number 2 next season. But it's a decent team still, despite the fact that we're being thrown all these different adversities, and we're dealing with them. Daxton Hill has a 5th-year option, but I think no, because he is building up and he is getting better, but he's definitely not worth the tag. I'd rather just freaking pay him right away, because he's maybe an 8 mil per year guy at best. At best for him. Obviously, I'd take 8 mil per year for Daxton. Operation Draft a starting defensive tackle when you're basically a Super Bowl bound team is underway. Obviously, we don't know if we're a Super Bowl bound team, as we've lost the very first playoff game in both of our last 2 seasons. But the team is obviously very good. It's always a great, regular season performer, and we're just getting unlucky, I think. I don't know, but going to keep going until one of our DTs is gone. We have a guy named Edwards, and we have a guy named Goddard. Hopefully, I think it's Goddard, one of the two. Hopefully, one of them is there. They were both 1-2s, I believe. So one of them, in theory, should be very close, at least. And wow, that's a bit earlier than I thought. Oh no, not the Steelers. Do they need a DT? Interdivisional, but it isn't like a super high pick. We've seen interdivisional even in the first round. They don't need a DT. They need a quarterback. Do we have anything we can do for them? Probably not. Strong safety. No. Well, I mean, Tyson Anderson, I suppose. They kind of like those types of players, but I don't think there's a whole lot we can do for him here, sadly. But draft picks. We're going to have to sign up a bunch of freaking practice squad guys, by the way. Jesus. 4th round pick next year. They're like, maybe. 6th round pick we could actually probably use ourselves. Maybe get on to 7th. Oh, we can't. If they take the 6th round this year, we'll be down to just 3 draft picks. It is what it is. Oh my god, do I really have to give up a 5th next? This is some pain. There you go. Gonna grab ourselves a DT. If he's not hidden, I'm gonna be very saddened, but regardless of the point, our guy looks just as good. I think the other guy was an A finesse, but he had a C block shed. Our guy could be B across the board. Very strong, very athletic, looks solid. Worry a little bit about the awareness. It's a B to D is, tackle and play rec is okay. Welcome to the team. Hidden development trade. That's all we needed. That's a win. 21 years old, pretty athletic, like we said. That's a win. We'll take it. That's all we could really have ever asked for. That's the one position where we needed like a legit starter, and we got it. Look at the color scheme behind the logo. It's like Pineapple Bengals. I know it's a glitch, but it's actually one of the it's like the only decent glitch in the game that's like kind of cool. Like you get to see the different like color schemes that could be, behind the freaking logo. Of course, this is tough because we don't really need a linebacker just yet, but this guy is kind of freaky. 21 years old, 6'3", very solid in speed, and he's got a B zone. However, you do also have that day 3 in Derek Cousins. Once again, a position we don't physically need yet. He's even better looking. And I think with that knowledge, that's something we're going to do. Of course, O-line-wise, Morrow looks really good. I can't remember how Hoffman looked, but I think he's 23. D run block, but everything else is pretty solid. I'm not going to go for him. I think we're going to go for a couple of day 3s and add some depth for next year's draft. So we trade 55 this and a 6th round next year for 88 this and 74 projected next year. So we still get our, this year pick, and we also get that 3rd round next year. They go with a guard. I think our day 3 guard's looking a little bit better than that guy, to be honest. I didn't see any other guards that were... I think there was a 1st round guard, and other than that, there really wasn't much going on. But obviously, we probably missed tons of players left and right, so what am I even saying? But Derek Cousins, one of the positions that we're going to be looking for the future. I will say some of his other key ratings are a bit iffy, but A-zone coverage, fast, it's really all that takes for me to be interested. Derek Cousins, welcome to the squad. Normal development rate, 89 speed, 90 excel. Little worrisome as, he's normal and he'll be 23 when we actually need him to start, but, I mean... A-zone and speed can't be wrong. Joel Morrow, of course, lots of potential here. If he's not, once again, he's a terrible run blocker, but if he's not at least hidden, I'd be a little surprised. Joel Morrow, hidden development trait, as we said. Very bad run blocker, though. And our speedy wide receiver is there still. He's really raw, but Kadeem Andrews, 4'2", 440. 96 speed only, though. Kind of an L, especially with his excel only being 92 as well. Where's the speed? He's a 4.24. He should have 98 and 95 minimum in either or. You decide which one is which, but 98, 95, that's really all it is. There's no arguing that, But 4 draft picks, not great draft picks, but some okay overalls in there. Is the guy we needed the most is the highest overall. He's also hidden, like we said. Let's take a look at what that dev looks like. I was really looking at either guy. I think if I had a choice, I probably would have taken the other one. Star development trait. Let's take a look at Cousins, 90 overall, of course. Very athletic, 89 speed, 90 excel. Hit power solid. Zones decent. Block sheds, a little iffy. Jumping's iffy, but catching's great. And then you have the left guard, Morrow, who is hidden development traits. Very good pass blocker, like a really good pass blocker. Kind of fits as a tackle, so I think for now he's going to sit back up to Darisaw, who we likely won't re-sign. Star development trait, sadly no, like crazy devs. And then 69 overall for Kadeem Andrews. What's his deal? His injury is a little bit better than I would have thought, to be honest, but nothing great there, to be honest. Let's take a look at the DT. Edwards. Like I said, I would have probably taken this guy over the guy we got, and he's hidden development trait as well. He is actually worse than our guy based on, pure ratings, but if his dev is higher, then it is an L, and his dev is star. Okay, so we actually got the better player anyways. All right, we did add some talent. Year 4 now we are in. We did add some talent. I really wish the tight end position would develop faster, but it just hasn't. O-line has been a little bit in shambles, to be honest, but that's just the way it goes sometimes. But the skill positions are insane on this team. 96 quarterback, 99 running back, 98 wide receiver, 95 wide receiver. Tight end is at least athletic. Defensively, we have some talent. Obviously, Buckner's an insane addition. Will Anderson's a god. Hunter's still good. Jesse Bates is one of the best safeties in the league. Cornerback 1 is still really good. Fast and great at zone coverage. Greedy Williams, I wonder how he's actually been developed, because kind of just let the game do what they got to do. He's a good man corner. He's not great, but he's good. Daxton Hill's obviously developing slowly, but he's getting there. He's not that old. 24 years old, he's still getting there, kind of building himself up as a cornerback at this point. But yeah, I mean, it's a good team, but I will admit, compared to some of our other rebuilds, it's lacking a little bit. But once again, that offensive firepower might be enough to still win us a ring. All right, $76 million, which is, based on the guys we have to re-sign, actually a lot of money. And the worst part is, though, is Jamar Chase is like, I guess I'll come back, but that's iffy, because that's $30 million per, and he's like, yellow or orange. That's the color, orange interest. The length is bringing this offer. It's a 5-year deal. If anything, he'd probably want a 4-year in real life. That's kind of what these wide receivers, these agents have been lining up, is getting these guys to be paid till about 29 so they can get one final crazy deal where, by year 32, they're, when they're 32, 33 years old, they suck, but you pretty much paid them for those first 3 years anyways. At least with Daxton Hill, his offer is already pretty low to start, so when we raise it, is exactly what he's hoping for. So yeah, this is going to be a bit of pain, to be honest. Might still be able to keep a Awuzie as well. That superstar dev is clutch. Of course, Darisaw is asking for a lot less than he was when we offered. That's literally less than what we paid him for this one season. He's a good power blocker, but unless we move him inside, which we could physically do, because he has struggled as a tackle. If you look at just his overall, where he is at this point in his career, it's not the greatest tackle in the world. We could actually do that, so I'd actually probably be on, the side of, re-signing him if he doesn't do more than a 16. Which he, $8 million per year for an 83 overall guy that could go to 84, 85 as a guard is not bad. Cam Taylor-Britt just never worked out. Alex Kappa, we kind of have linemen, don't we? Like, we have backups ready to go. Kappa is a good player, but is a finesse type guy, so unless he moved to tackle, I just don't think it makes sense for us to keep him. Logan Wilson, of course, I think he's reached his end for us. But yeah, if we can get Jamar Chase, I'm okay with losing everyone else if we have to. Oh, look, Joe Burrow's the greatest. He got 15K XP from a QB breakout. So what, do we lose him now? 5-year 160 is not enough? Well, I guess you're getting tagged for half the price. To the playoffs with the bye week, 59-31. It's like, yeah, sure, we understand you want to win so you can get the bye week, but did you really need to do it to him, especially when they were fighting for the playoffs? I think they were like 8-8 at this point. That is busted. We'll take it, though, as once again, we are going to have a bye week. This could be the year. Like I said, we didn't build the best team in the world, but that offense is loaded. And, of course, there are a couple of defenders that are pretty elite. Will Anderson, Buckner. Burrow is potentially the MVP of the league. Does award winner mean like they won it that year or they won it recently? Either way, both these guys probably do win awards as they're both really good. T. Higgins was decent. Jamar Chase has no tags, was iffy. Harrell had his best year yet, and Gilbert was a little bit down from last season. Blocking, Darisaw, really good at tackle, actually, so worth that money. And look at the sack totals. 27 for Anderson, 9.5 for Buckner, which is still decent. Hunter at 7 is a big L. And then linebacker coverage, interceptions. We had 2 guys with 5 picks at the linebacker spot. Evan McPherson was decent. Punter put up 50+ per. It was a good year. It was a pretty good year. Would have loved to see a little bit more consistency in sack totals outside of Will Anderson, but it was still good. Obviously, Joe Burrow, the freaking MVP. Mixon, Offensive Player of the Year. Defensive Player of the Year for Anderson. Jeez, man. Best quarterback, best running back. Best wide receiver was at 5, 6, and 9. O-line is not on the list. Who asked? D-line at number 1 and 5. Linebacker, not on the list. DB, not on the list. Kicker at 5. That's a pretty good season. Cleared up a lot of awards. I mean, who knows? Just saying. This could be the year. Or it could be the year where we just, once again, don't even win a damn playoff game. All right, here we go. Please just one. At least one playoff win in this entire rebuild of a team that should be not even a rebuild team. Although, once again, we're getting smoked like usual. 20-12, 27-19, 27-19 still, 30-19. Offense is trying to catch up, but they're doing a pretty poor job of it. Huge touchdown, it appears there. 44-yarder to Harrell. Down by 3 with 3 minutes left. 3 minutes, and it's a 3rd and 7. This is your chance. Cam Taylor-Britt on the inside. I guess I'll go with Gaither. I don't even know what move you would do with this guy because he's kind of good at everything. Bull rush, and of course we give it the first down to Pickens, even though it was bunched up. Tannehill's their starter. All right, here it is, 3rd and 7. The defense gets one final chance, bringing the pressure, and sacked. Giving it a legitimate shot. Down by 3, a minute 20, no timeouts though, and likely bad field position. Maybe you'd even go for the block, but I suppose you will get a chance with Harrell, who's obviously a pretty talented player. He's a big reason why this team's even here is obviously had a big 44-yard touchdown, which not only is a score, obviously, but it was a quick score, which if they didn't get that, there might not even be 1 minute 14 on the clock right now. Let's see if we can do it. 1:15 in the 4th. Got to get a field goal. And I'm going to be honest, I was kind of predetermined Chase there every day of the week. Guy's such a freaking talent. We're not going to really have much time. Let's audible to this, I suppose. And under pressure. Whoo! McPherson, 40-yard line's the target. At least we know now. And this playbook kind of sucks. Like, there's nothing really deep, dude. Burrow? I mean, it's something. It's a few yards. We might just take the shot here. And of course, I don't understand, dude. Like, I try to float it in there. They're like telling you, hey, you should run the ball just to get the first down. It's like, yeah, but at that point, you might as well just give them the ball instead of even converting anyways, because we're not going to have enough time to make a play. And that is a tough one. Gilbert, can we spike this thing? Boom, 6 seconds left. The field goal unit will be coming on. Let's see if McPherson, watch them not even kick the damn field goal. Can McPherson do it? He can. It's overtime. That is a nice drive. And honestly, before that play, I was going to hurry up and run a play. I completely forgot the field goal gave us a good chance. And speaking of good chance, we win the game. Headed to the championship round. I actually legitimately almost hurried up instead of spiking it. Or I was going to spike it and run a play, and I was like, wait a minute, scoreboard, hello. Of course, we did the job coming back. It wasn't super easy. It was kind of challenging. Harrell, like I said, had a really good game. Sack totals, Will Anderson has been unbelievable. Who would have thought? Championship round, who is it? Broncos, probably. They've been killing it lately. The Patriots. No, please tell me they've been, like, getting lucky as hell to even be, like, in still. Tell me they were like getting lucky. Tell me, please, because I mean, okay, 2 interceptions. Wait, who the hell was their quarterback? Okay, I thought it was Zapp. Seen Zapp's name, and I was like, wait a minute, he's the starter there? Okay, that's strange. 2 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. I mean, it's pretty low scoring games, so I mean, if offense does their job, we might not have to worry. Come on, boys. 4 overalls on them as well. Matthew Judon's still one of their best players. I mean, that's kind of an L. That's just what pisses me off. Like, this team is built to score. So, fair enough if you get touchdowns on us or whatever, but we should be putting up, like, 20-some points a game. Anything less than 20 is just BS. Like, there's just too much talent on this team. 10-7, 14-10. We hold them to a field goal. We don't get any points. We're down by 2 at halftime, up by 1 to start the second half. They get a touchdown, but they miss an extra point, it looks like. We get a touchdown. We get the 2-point. It's tied up at 25 all. We get a field goal, and it is all tied up. This team loves that 3-minute. Running the ball, I guess, makes sense there, and then we get sacked. We've actually just lost the game there. Like, we've actually just lost the game on that set of drive. Like, really? Really, guys? That's the best we could do. I mean, they're trying to waste the clock, so why wouldn't we run commit here? Why wouldn't we run the commit? I mean, offense going to have a chance to clutch out again. They're going to have a chance. Unless they don't make the field goal, the win could be against them here. Yeah, they're going to punt. Man, I get it. We have 2 timeouts, and this offense is deadly, but man, that's tough. To be so close to scoring and not get anything there. And, of course, the punt ends up being like a 17-yard punt anyways. And we probably don't even need to come in and play for this team, but at the same time, I know the way this game goes, so let's not lose the game on that. They really want us to run the ball, and I want to, but I just know for some reason they're just going to block shed. But we're going to try because we have timeouts, so why not? Oh, come on. There's 3 rushers. I don't think the game knows how to code right. Mate, imagine what the game could be like if it wasn't so poorly coded. Like, 3 linemen, where it's a run play. The guys know it's a run play. It's not an RPO or anything like where, you know, the linemen may have to, like, hesitate because they might have to pass block. But it's a 3-man rush. You have 5 guys that are pretty decent, and it's a run play. There would be pancakes. It would be insane. Those guys would be on the ground. It's 1,500 pounds against, like, at best, 850. Like, come on, game. Let's be real with ourselves. Harrell! Big play Harrell with the speed. Could be the hero, but he's smarter than that. He goes out of the 36. Damn, he's fast. Of course, they're like, hey, let's run the ball. Like, are you serious? Did you learn nothing from them? Did you learn nothing from them? They thought they had the field goal in the bag, and what ended up happening? They needed a freaking punt because they didn't have enough yardage. Like, why wouldn't we at least try to get a little closer? Other than, you know, potential turnovers. That is a 1.5, by the way. You know, I'm not bad at the game. I just play as, oh my god, okay, I guess we're going for the field goal right here. I just play as teams that don't have quarterbacks. All right, Super Bowl bound if we hit this field goal. And we do. We're in. AFC champions. Back to the bowl. When you ate too much spicy food, it's trip number 4. Of course, looking at the numbers, very similar from both guys. Ironically, built pretty similar, too. Both very accurate, but the throw power, at least from Mac Jones' side, is pretty bad. Running, kind of similar as well. Receiving, Harold didn't do anything other than that big play he had there, but Higgins was pretty nice. Sack totals to DeForest Buckner, finally the big ticket item, you know, paying off for us. Evan McPherson misses a kick. Don't know how, you know, tough it was, but could have avoided that issue, although at the same time, you don't know how, you know, the butterfly effect works. Are they as conservative there when they need, you know, to get a touchdown and get the lead, whereas the field goal only ties it? Probably not, to be honest. And, well, okay, never mind. I'm at the main menu. Sweet. The Cowboys. That is not a fun team to play in the game. They are very talented. What is their overall? They're going to be the highest we face, I'd imagine. 88. I mean, it's technically the highest we face. We haven't faced any higher, but we have faced an 88 overall team. They probably had a bye week. They didn't. They beat Green Bay by 25. I thought Green Bay was like 2-6 at one point. Maybe that was last season. Beat San Fran by 7, and then they beat Carolina by 3. So they've been able to put up some pretty high scores, which is not fun for us. Let's take a look at our dev ups. I don't think anything would happen on offense other than maybe dev downs. And I don't think Higgins was ever an X factor, so that didn't happen. And then defensively, it looks like there's somebody that changed, but I don't think there was. I think everyone's the same dev, which is fine. Fair enough. But here we are, 91 overall Cincinnati Bengals. It only took 4 years to get here. Give us the damn ring, dude. I think either way we might be done after this one. Regardless, I think this is the best team we're going to get. Here we go. Winner is the champion of the world. I think 90% of the world, or the country at least, would probably be like, let's go Bengals. Cowboys still get the mad hate that they do. 23-17, 24-20. It's been an interesting one. 31-20, and that's the Super Bowl, baby. 38-20. We finally get a game where we're not just barely holding on. We're barely winning the game. We actually finally smoked a team. I mean, I wouldn't even say smoked. We won by 18, but it's the best we've ever had. So, absolute dubs. Finally champions. Once again, this should have been a really short one, but it wasn't. And it's okay because in the end, we end up as the champions. Joe Burr. I could have done the cringe way of saying it. I'm not going to. is a Super Bowl champion, baby. And who the hell is this handing the trophy out? This guy, like, he's got some prestigious job making, like, 6 figures a year, and all he does is just walk the trophy out. That's literally it. Of course, the trophy in hand. It belongs to Cincy. They've done it. The squad is champions. Obviously, Boyd's not here, but Chase, Mixon, Burrow, Higgins, they're all here. It's great to see. Jonah Williams, I suppose, kind of a long-stander. Awuzie, huge help to this team, stuck around for this many years on one-year deals. Obviously making money every time anyways, but Joe Burrow showed up. 5 touchdowns, 0 interceptions to Dak's 0 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Mixon got outperformed by Zeke, but that's because of a huge run. And, yeah, I mean, receiving numbers, Harrell has been huge for this team. Jamar Chase showed up, and, you know, the most he has in the postseason in the biggest game. Of course, he does. Will Anderson always putting up numbers. Interceptions, of course. Awuzie, we just mentioned him. Jesse Bates, that's a long stander as well. Not sure what's going to happen with him in real life, but the fact that we had money here, and I mean, this is pretty relatively early in the season, so I'd imagine the numbers are pretty close to correct. Tells me maybe they bring him back. I don't know, but yeah, Daxton Hill, a guy that we're going to look at all these guys, but Daxton Hill really never developed, man. It's kind of sucky because, like, this rebuild, I really wanted to see what the youngsters could do, and, you know, with Cam Taylor-Britt not really even playing and Daxton Hill struggling, there's not really much to show from those guys, but of course, Jamar Chase, so OP, dude. I mean, he's literally god tier with that speed as well, and insane route running releases off the charts. Joe Mixon, how was he made, actually? Oh, he's a beast. He's actually the best running back in the league, I'd say. I mean, it's very rare to have all of the jukeability ratings at 90+. That is tough. Like, you just never see that. Joe Burrow, let's see if he got to 90 throw power, did he? Yeah, he did. 99 accuracies, which is insane. Under pressure, solid. Yeah, he's a really good quarterback. No wonder why it was so easy to throw with him. He's freaking insane, dude. Even with the 90 throw power, I mean, that's good enough for sure. T. Higgins, of course, no good in deep route running. That speed must have went up a bit. I don't imagine he starts even close to 90, like 88 maybe. Crazy catching, 99 on all the catchings. Once again, another rebuild where you get like the best of both worlds. You got a guy that, you know, is ex-receiver Chase. He's a god at pretty much everything. And then you have T. Higgins, who's a really good catcher with some decent route running short-wise. And then Harrell, who's just a burner. You got a lot of everything. Of course, Gilbert never really developed, but that's okay. Let's take a look at Jonah Williams, who's an 89 overall. Not bad developing there at all. Finesse blocking, he's a god at. Super good pass blocker in general, but that finesse blocking is beautiful. Of course, looking at the defense, not a whole lot to show, but I guess we'll take a look at Logan Wilson because he's one of their highest overalls on defense early on. Block shedding's iffy, but coverage is really good. He's decently fast. He's a super smart player and also a free agent. Let's take a look at Jesse Bates. He's got to be really, really talented. He's in 96 overall, 28 years old, X Factor. Speed's a lot lower than I would have thought at this point, but great smarts, great zone coverage, insane player in general. Let's take a look at the other players. Will Anderson's got to be like 99 everything at this rate. 99 finesse, 97 power move, 86 block shed, 99 tackle. God damn, he's good. 90 speed, 94 excel is great too, obviously. Let's take a look at, not Buckner, because he's not really a guy we developed. Awuzie actually went up in overall, which is surprising, but he's in 95 zone coverage. Would have loved to see him balanced out a little bit more, but not really going to judge the way he was made. Greedy Williams, 85 overall. You know, he was a good contract, I suppose. He's a decent signing. The money was decent for us. What, a 5-year 30 or 5-year 40, something like that. Griffith never started, all the potential in the world, and it still would be, you know, probably a starter at some point. All that speed is a great slot corner, though. Obviously super athletic, which is what you need the most. Davis Gaither, a guy that, like I said, he killed it. Yet his overall never really went up that high. His coverage is good. He's super fast, but his block shedding is awful. I don't even know how the hell this team stops the run. Because, like, even Buckner, even though he's a good player, I can't imagine his block shed is even that close to his... oh, he's a god. I was about to say to his finesse, but no, he was built to be a better finesse or block shedder than his actual pass rush ability, which is kind of crazy. Armstead started out as a superstar. I know he's only a 70 overall, but his overall really never went up that high either. But everyone keeps being developed as coverage guys, so Really a lot of pressure on that D-line to get their block sheds. Daxton Hill, once again, built more like a corner than anything, but still, he's developing. He's still young. We have him for a long time. So, like with a lot of our rebuilds, we ended up building the team decently well. And, of course, longevity-wise, we have everyone locked up that we need to have locked up. I mean, simply put, you have the kicker for a long time, the quarterback, the wide receiver, the running back. T. Higgins has probably still got another couple of years left. I mean, the team's in a good spot, and obviously they just won a Super Bowl. So that is going to be it for our Cincinnati Bengals realistic-style rebuild. If you're a Bengals fan, congrats on tonight, or good luck on tonight, I suppose. Because I don't know if there's going to be a whole lot of congratulating. I think the Dolphins are going to have themselves a bit of a pass game. Of course, if you guys have any ideas for rebuilds in the future, I kind of want to make it where, I don't know which day specifically, but if we're going to be doing 2 rebuilds a week, I want one to be like a challenge-type rebuild and one to be like a regular realistic rebuild, or maybe one could just be a fantasy-style rebuild where we make crazy trades, perhaps, something like that. So if you have any challenge ideas, let me know. I seen some in my latest challenge rebuild. It wasn't really even a challenge, just a fantasy draft rebuild, and there's some decent ideas there, so, keep them coming. And I'll keep the videos coming. Of course, appreciate you guys watching. If you're new, like I said, maybe leave a like. Subscribe if you're new. If you're not new, really appreciate your continued support. It's weird that the way I word that, it's like, if you're new, leave a like. If you're not new, though, don't you dare leave a like. It's like, no, please, if you're new or not, leave a like. But anyways, thanks for watching. Hope you guys come back for next video. But until next video, see ya.